Hello and welcome everybody. My name is Savage and today we're going to be having a look at HBAR. This has been a request off of one of the videos, so we're going to be having a look at it and see where we think this is going and what kind of potential we have to drop to the downside here. So there are a few variables which we'll have to go over, but before we jump into that, I'd like to say thank you for watching the video, and if you'd like to show your support and you're enjoying that content, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed already, turn on that bell notification so you never miss a video, and why not leave us some feedback in the comment sections down below. Okay, so let's get into the price action here. So there is a few ways of looking at this. This is my preferred count at the moment. Basically, it would be looking at this whole move in that top side here as a diagonal into this low point here as a wave 1. This is a wave 2, and then this all down here into this low point as a wave 3. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, 3 comes into here, so that would be basically 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 into this low point. This is a fourth wave to the upside. And then the top here is where it starts to get a bit complicated. So we can also look at this slightly different up the top here as a series of 1s and 2s, though I prefer this count for the meantime, and we will sort of see how it goes from there and see how it reacts down these low points. If it starts to deviate away from it, it could indicate that there's something going on with the beginning of the move. So the beginning of this move as well is quite choppy. I was initially thinking that we could have a, if I just quickly turn this off for 1 second, I was thinking that we could have a diagonal shape within this move, and it is still possible, but you would have to take this as a triangle within this move here, and have this as an ABC, and it would be a much bigger triangle. Sorry, a much bigger diagonal. Then, if that's the case, you would have only completed wave 1 at this point. If this is actually what's going on, and because we've had this what looks like a triangle here, it starts to become really messy. I was originally looking at it like this when we started this move. However, now we've come down too low for this to be viable. So, for the most part, the best interpretation I can give now of these moves is actually that we are within an extending wave 5. So within this move, I know this looks complicated. We're going to break it down though. So basically, within these moves, these different numbers and the brackets, and see this one with a circle, these are different degrees. So basically, all these mean is that this wave with the Roman numerals in the circle is the highest degree. This one in the brackets is the next highest degree, and this is the next highest degree. So this wave is within this wave, which is within this wave. So effectively, we would still be within this yellow wave 3 here. So looking at this move basically from the top point here, what we'd have is this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which looks to be completed for the most part. There is a way of counting this where we're not completed, but we'll go over that shortly as well. So effectively what we'd be looking for here within this, if we are completed at this low of this 4 cents area, is we'd be looking for this move up in a fourth wave. So this fourth wave could technically move anywhere between this 0.432 to this 0.518 zone. So that's a typical fourth wave correction zone. We wouldn't really want to see it go much higher than this 0.518 area. Also, moving above this 0.556 area would actually invalidate this fifth wave as we have marked here. So we're just tracking this to see how this progresses and see if it does continue to play out according to the wave count. So within this, basically, like I said, we would be completed this at this low point here of this 4 cents, and we'd be looking for this wave to the upside here in a fourth wave move. Okay, with that said and done, the alternative is that we are actually not completed this move yet. And if I just go on and remove this, just so it clears it up a little bit, so we can just talk about the subwaves here. It is possible that we could have this actually as a just as a ABC into this high point here as a fourth wave and not as a triangle. And effectively what this would then mean is that we have this as a wave 1, this would be a wave 3, and then we would actually still be within this wave 4. And this wave 4 would be sort of maxing out really as high as we want to go for it to be a valid a valid wave 4. It's already on this 50% zone, as we can see here. If I just come in a little bit closer, we can see it's already come up and reached this 50% zone. So if this is the case, what we'd be actually expecting here is to start to see some rejection to the downside at this point. So the target area of that would be this 0391 to this 0376. Moving up above this 0461 though would actually invalidate this and would make us look at this as a completed move into this low point that we had over here at 4 cents. So this is what I'm keeping out for, like on the short term here, is actually whether we start to get a reversal and we start to break down, take this low and look for this. If that does take place, basically what we'd be looking for effectively within this is that this third wave, instead of being here, would actually just be slightly lower down, and then we'd start this fourth wave move to the upside, to this red box area. Until we actually have a little bit more information, it is a bit choppy and it's hard to tell because there is an extension within this, but it's hard to say exactly where it is. So the best we can do is sort of monitor these moves and then see how they play out and respond according to the moves that the market shows us. But this is sort of this. I think this is my most likely interpretation, is that actually we're going to get this fifth wave to the downside. Though should we break this red line area, that would actually indicate we've completed and we've sort of looking for this fourth wave move to the upside here. If I just jump down back here, we turn off this, and we turn off this. So if we do say we're completed here, we can look at this move in a few ways. So basically what we could look at is the potential that if I come down here onto the smaller time frame, and we can talk about these moves. So for the most part, this does look like a 5-wave move into this high point. So I was expecting to see an additional 5-wave move here, but we've got a lot of overlap within this. It is possible we could be getting some kind of a diagonal in here where maybe this is a wave 1, 2, then we're going to form a wave 3, 4, and a 5, and we're going to look to move up towards this 0455 zone. Alternatively, it is also possible that this is that we have something else going on here, because on the smaller time frames we can actually count this as a zigzag here, so it could just be like it could be a WXY, and this actually could be completed where this is a W wave, this is an X wave, and then that is a Y wave into that high. Then from that point, either what we have is this move to the downside being, actually it would have to be here. Then we'd have this as a flat correction to the downside here as an ABC. So basically an A, a B, and a C to the downside, and then actually looking for this as a as another leg to the upside here. This could turn into a bigger, or this could be an ABC, or actually we could just form a corrective structure to the upside here, where we have this as a let's have a look here. It's very choppy and there's a lot of overlap here. It is possible we have an A, a B, and a C wave here, which could be completed. We haven't quite reached this 1-to-1, but we have come quite close to it at the 0445 zone. So if we do start to break down here, what my next sort of area that I'd be looking for would be to see whether we find support. Basically from this low point here all the way up into this high point, what we'd be looking for then is potential that we could actually have a completed move here at this WXY, and we're starting to form a another corrective move to the downside, where this is actually an A. We moved up for a B, and we're going to look to break down for that C wave to the downside. And if that is the case, we'd be looking for this to develop in a 5-wave move, and looking for the potential of moving down and targeting the support zone here, which would be this area of 0421 all the way down to this 0409 area. This would be a typical area that we would look to target out. This would be sort of like the typical B wave retracement. If we do actually move back into this zone, it is possible that what we would then effectively have is the potential for a bigger A, a B, and a C wave to the upside. So that's what we're looking at here as a corrective structure. And basically within this move, if we go up into this high point, maybe we come down to this 50% zone again, A 1-to-1 would effectively take us up to this 0463 zone. Now, if I throw this other group back on, we can see that within this typical fourth wave correction that we have here, that would take us towards this lower range of this 263 area, 236, sorry, which would be this 4 cent 53. Although typically it would move up to this 489. So we need to bear in mind that maybe we might see some extension or some other wave structures develop in here, and that might look to target higher up, which could potentially be in line with this previous fourth wave up here, or alternatively maybe a little bit lower down at this 382 zone, which is this 0489 area. So we need a little more structure here to get a better read on this. But there is also the alternative, like I said, that there is a few possibilities at this point until we get some more structure. If I actually remove all of this stuff, the alternative is that we can also count this as a 5-wave move into this high. It is a little bit sloppy, and you would have to say there was an extension within the wave 1, but it is possible to count it as such. And if that's the case, we could be looking at an extension here that isn't quite apparent yet, and we are looking to move up towards this the 0479 area. If this is the case, I don't really like the structure, to be honest with you, because if I zoom in here, you can see here. So if I just so where we come up here with this move here, we break back down, then we come back up here, but we cross this high point. So typically speaking, within an impulsive structure, you would want to basically make a 1-2, 1-2, and then we'd want to start progressing to the upside here. But this sideways movement is not great. Unless you're looking at a potential for maybe a diagonal structure like we just briefly talked about. But the more we move sideways like this, the more likely it is that this is actually going to just start to break down and look for that support area again. And that this whole sequence here is actually just a corrective move, and that we're going A, B, and then we're looking for that C wave to the downside. So if that is the case, it doesn't invalidate it. If we move past this 4 cents, however, it would invalidate any kind of a 5-wave move to the upside. Like I said, it's my least favorite sort of interpretation at the moment, because we'd have to look at this potentially as a very small diagonal within this move here, and effectively we would have something like this where this is a 1 and a 2 again, and then we'd be looking for this impulsive move to start playing out to the upside. It is possible we could see this play out, but until we get, so if I just measure this up like this, basically we would have this to this high point, down to this low point. So we'd want to see a move above this 463 area for it to even be sort of thought in our minds, because until we do that, until we start to see a break to the upside here, it is also possible, like I said, that this could just be within a fourth wave correction that's become complex, which would actually explain a lot of this overlap. And if we do actually end up breaking down past this 4 cent area, then we have that target area we talked about earlier. Though for as long as we hold these lows, and we continue to set higher lows, so this is the important one for me at the moment, is this area here at 4 cent 20. Holding this zone could lead to us getting some good structure for an impulse to the upside, though the way it's currently looking, I'd actually want to see this. This might be able to, so basically if we looked at this move here, if we were looking at it as a additional 1-2 here, what we'd want to see is a move back down, but not breaking. Let me drop this on there. So zoom in on this a little bit. So moving down towards this 4 cent 36 to this 4 cent 31, and then looking for that push back to the upside. If we do lose this 428 zone, then we would have to, like I said, either we would be in a deeper corrective move and would be looking to target out a little bit higher in this range. If we're looking at this, we could still be within a wave 2, and maybe this is actually a more complex structure where we have an A, a B, and a C to the downside, which if that does play out, we could look to target out the zone of between this 0430 to this 0424. as a support zone. It is very choppy though. I don't like it, and I think there is a high probability that we're going to break down from this and actually invalidate any kind of an impulsive potential. And I do think we will start to see some choppy sideways action here. Though, like I said, if we do manage to break up above these high points, particularly this 0479 area, that would then indicate we would have a 5-wave move to the upside. If this did play out as a 5-wave move, then the next thing we would be looking for is the 3-wave move back to the downside, and effectively looking to retest some of these areas that we've broken through, maybe this high point here at this 0444. We need more information about this before we can we can speculate on it, but until we get more information here and this waves start to react how we would like them to, this could always just break down. So we just need to bear that in mind. This is basically just giving us a little bit of a roadmap so we can keep a track on it, and we will do. We will keep a track on it, and we'll post regular updates so that when we see stuff within the moves, we will let you know as well. For the most part, though, what we basically need to see here is whether we break out from this zone and start breaking some of these high points, moving to making a bigger 5-wave structure here. If this does play out, effectively, we would be looking to target out this 0494 and this 0485, depending exactly how the structures develop. It might look to push a little bit higher or lower than that. But actually not really lower, because we would want to reach this 0479 area if it's to play out as we have it marked out there. I just want to go back into this and just turn this off. So if we do start to break down, this is what we would be looking for, this target area here, and effectively, like I said, we would be looking for this as then the completed 3rd wave if we aren't completed here. These are the things that we have to look out for and keep an eye on. There is many possibilities, and until we get a little bit more structure here, it can go either way here. So I'll just caution you to be careful here, because, like I said, there is a bit of uncertainty here. It's kind of in limbo where it is actually. And sometimes the markets do these things. We've got to just let them develop and track how they move. If we do manage to break higher, like I said, above this 0.461, then that would actually invalidate this 4th wave, this 5th wave to the downside, which then would make us look for a rejection point somewhere in this red box. Like I said earlier in the video, we'll keep you up to date as best we can when we see the moves, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you haven't, if this is your first time watching Crypto Rosetta's videos, why not jump in the playlists and have a look around. We try to produce some good content for everyone on a daily basis, and if you appreciate it, we would really appreciate a subscribe. Okay, with all that said and done, I hope everyone has a great day, and if you enjoyed the content, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and leave us some comments in the comment section down below. Cheers everyone, take care and have a great day.